Oh, how's it going, everybody? We're back for another edition of All In, where I'll pick a rock artist and listen to the entire discography and give my thoughts on it. So, the band in question must have 5 or more studio albums. Cover albums can count. Generally, I don't talk about live or acoustic albums unless they're original to the form, so here we go. So, this week we're going to talk about sort of a unique band. I mean, maybe they were a little late for the era, but who cares? They sounded damn good. So, we're going to talk about Steel Panther. That's right. So, their premise is basically that they're a hair band with much more crude lyrics. So, Steel Panther, where did I first hear them? I think it was kind of a combination of YouTube and Sirius. I remember hearing the first song I heard was on this album. It was called Death to All But Metal, and they were out there just bashing like the other genres. Like they didn't care for like the pop punk crowd. They didn't care for the new metal crowd or the grunge crowd. Like it was all about the hair metal. But they apparently have been around since probably like 2000. So they wanted us to name. They were called Metal Shop. And then they were called Danger Kitty, which if there was an insurance commercial back then, it was, I don't know if it was like for Geico or State Farm. I think it was Geico. They were called Danger Kitty, and I remember like they were in this commercial. And then they went Metal School for their next era, and then once they started releasing their material, then they went Steel Panther. And I know it's sort of like a love-hate group. Like, I love them, but I know my fiance doesn't like them, and my GMC wasn't really into them. I showed GMC the CD when I first heard it, and he wasn't really like a big fan of it, but I thought the shit was funny. Like, it was more of a comical take on hair metal, I guess you could say. So, these guys have a total of 6 original studio albums, ranging from Feel the Steel in 2009, all the way to On the Prowl from just 2 years ago in 2023. So I guess before we discuss the albums, we'll talk about the couple of one-offs they did here before that they released. So the first one-off they released was they did a cover of Fantasy, which was Alta Nova, and then they did another cover of Don't Stop Believin', which was Journey. And then the first original song, believe it or not, was a Christmas Carol. They did Sexy Santa. And yeah, we did a Vlogs at Rock talking about Christmas songs and whatnot. And I remember GMC, he was like, what are they saying, like Santa's sexy? Now, I don't think that's what it is. But then we move on to their first original album right here, Feel the Steel. So here we start off with Death to All But Metal. Fuck the Goo Goo Dolls, they can suck my balls. Very catchy song. Then you have Asian Hooker, Community Property, which they did do a clean version of it for regular radio. That is the one and only song I remember of actually hearing on regular radio when they did the clean version. Then you have Eyes of a Panther, Fat Girl, Thar She Blows, Eatin' Ain't Cheatin', Party All Day and Fuck All Night, Turn Out the Lights, Stripper Girl, The Shocker, Two in the Stink and One in the Pink. And then we end it with Girl from Oklahoma. So yeah, really awesome album, really comical in my opinion, love it. But that was the only physical copy, the only physical album I actually had of them. So, moving on, we gotta give honorable mention to another one-off they did after this. They actually did a Backstreet Boys cover. That's right. They did their version of I Want It That Way. Imagine a metal version of Tell Me Why. But it was pretty cool they did that though. I liked it. It was oddly crazy. It was oddly cool. So, moving on to the second album, we have Balls Out. That's right. So, continuing on with their entire not really parody, but more so like the genre parody. So they start off with "In the Future," which is an intro with Dane Cook. I think it started off something like "We are in the future of the year 69, 69." I thought that was pretty funny. Then we have "Supersonic Sex Machine." Then we have, I remember hearing this song on Octane on Sirius, "Just Like Tiger Woods," and they're kind of like talking about the whole Tiger Woods controversy, where he was cheating and the psycho wife like tried to beat the shit out of him. And then you have 17 Girls in a Row, kind of parodies Cherry Pie a little bit. You have "If You Really, Really Love Me." You have "It Won't Suck Itself." And Chad Kroeger's in this. Well, that's no surprise. You got "Tomorrow Night." You have "Why Can't You Trust Me?" Yeah. "That's What Girls Are For." "Gold Digging Whore." "I Like Drugs." "Critter." "Let Me Come In." And they end it with a Winnie Ride. Sort of like a ballad, if you will. And then they did a couple bonus tracks. I never heard them. He says, "Do You Want to Do Me?" and "Handicap Slut." Man, they're fucked up. And then, okay, so we move on to the third album called "All You Can Eat." Gee, I wonder what that means. So here we have "Pussy Whipped," "Party Like Tomorrow's the End of the World," "Glory Hole." That song is funny as shit. You have "Bukkake Tears," "Gangbang in an Old Folks Home." That's another fucked up song. You have "10 Strikes You're Out," "The Burden of Being Wonderful," and then you have "Fucking My Heart in the Ass," BVS. You have "You're Beautiful When You Don't Talk," "If I Were King," and "She's on the Rag." She's on the Rag. That's a hilarious song. I love it. And then if you get the Japanese bonus version, you get "People Are Stupid," which I never heard that one. So, moving on, 2017, we have "Lower the Bar." So, we start off with "Going in the Back Door." "Anything goes. Fucking anything goes." I love that song. And you have "Poontang Boomerang." You have "That's When You Came In," "The Wrong Side of the Tracks," "Out on Beverly Hills," "Now the Fun Starts." And then you have a song called "Pussy Ain't Free." And then "Wasted Too Much Time," featuring Stone Sour in the video. So, yeah, Corey Taylor must have been in this. You have "I Got What You Want," "Walk of Shame," and they end it with a Cheap Trick cover called "She's Tight." Could have many meanings, I don't know. And then, if you got the bonuses, you got "Redheaded Stepchild" and, is it "Monetary Infamy"? I can't fucking read that. So then, moving along, we have 2019's Heavy Metal Rules. And so we have "Zebra Man," "All I Want to Do Is Fuck Myself Tonight," "Let's Get High Tonight," "Always Gonna Be a Hoe," "I'm Not Your Bitch," and, oh, this is a good song, "Fuck Everybody." Now, this is like the ultimate rage song when you're just pissed off at everything. It's a great song to listen to when you're just pissed off at everything. Then you have "Heavy Metal Rules," you have "Sneaky Little Bitch," "Gods of Pussy," and "I Ain't Buying What You're Selling." And great album, loved it, hilarious. Oh man. And then we have a couple of one-offs after this. So they did a one-off called "Fuck 2020," which it's basically the same song as "Fuck Everybody," except they changed the lyrics to whenever COVID happened. So, very accurate. Then, in 2021, they do a couple of one-offs. They did, like, 2 Van Halen covers. They did "Beautiful Girls" and "DOA." And they did pretty good at them covers. I liked them. And then we move on to 2 years ago, 2023. We have "It's Never Too Late to Get Some Pussy Tonight." Then we have "Friends with Benefits." Then we have "On Your Instagram," "Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is." And then this song I like, 1987. We have "Teleporter." We have "Is My Dick Enough," featuring Zweedale Zappa. I don't even know who that is. We have "Magical Vagina," "All That and More," "One Pump Chump," "Porn Star," Ain't Dead Yet, and we end up with Sleeping on the Rollaway. Like, these guys, like, seriously, like, I enjoyed, like, the crude lyrics, the hairband sound, just the whole deal. Like, they're sort of a love-hate deal, kind of like Star Wars. I loved them. I never did get to see them live. I was actually at a show where they did perform, but we were already down the road before they performed in the tent. Musically, I should say. Yeah, my fiance's just not a fan of them. I think she said she saw them live, and she's like, "Oh man, they were a jerk." I think it's because of like their whole shtick, their whole premise. I think so. Essentially, what they were going for was more parody slash comedy, I guess. But yet they wrote mostly their own original material, which I thought was pretty funny. Oh man, how do we rate these guys? How do we rate these albums? Well, I'm just gonna do one big era. Because they started off in 2009, and then they only had one album in the 2020s, so we'll just do it as one big era. Fuck it. So yeah, I don't know. I would say my favorite album, maybe for nostalgia purposes, I would have to say Feel the Steel. Real solid album, real hilarious, awesome as hell, and On the Prowl. Or no, Heavy Metal Rules, I think, was like a close second, honestly. But I don't know. I don't hate any of them, so I'm not gonna give a bad rating on any of it. I'm just gonna say like, Feel the Steel was number 1, Heavy Metal Rules was number 2, and yeah, I liked all their albums just because, I'm perverted minded. What can I say? It's funny shit, but yeah. Next band we're going to talk about, next video, fucking legend. And let's just say that the lead singer used to be part of Metallica until he got kicked out. Can you guess? Tune in next time.